Zombie Stone Cold Steve Austin. He might not have a head, but he doesn't have a weakness either. We're going to run him with the 2 purples and the yellow. One of those purple moves is a 2-turn stun, so we want to get it loaded quick. That's why we're using Xavier Woods, and Daniel Bryan will help us reload it. Go against Mr. Perfect, a class disadvantage, but there is no disadvantage with Zombie Stone Cold. This footage is courtesy of Dazman Styles. So we want to get that purple loaded quickly. We get some yellow there as well. Mr. Perfect's got his moves fully loaded, but let's see if he'll ever get to use them, because this purple move is a 2-turn stun. Now, the idea is to get that stun refilled. This yellow move is a choose move. You select gems to turn into silence gems. But what you want to do is you want to put them around purples in order to make purple matches eventually. We're 1 MP short of our purple to be able to do what we need to do right away, but we'll see in a moment. Mr. Perfect is still stunned. We get that extra charge on our purple, so now this move turns those silence gems into purple gems. So both our purples are now reloaded. Mr. Perfect is still stunned. He's sitting there with his moves ready to go, but he's not going to be able to use those. The stun goes out again. The silence gems go out again. And then we're going to turn all those silence gems. Daniel Bryan's going to help us turn more of those silence gems into purples, creating a refill and creating a huge cascade with some damage. You only want to choose as many silence gems as the next move allows you to change, so you're not getting messed up there. So Mr. Perfect loaded his moves first turn and never got to go again. That's what that stun move does. So let's try it here without Daniel Bryan. We'll use 2 MP trainers, Woods and Enzo, just so we can get that yellow silence gem move full. It'll be ready to go turn 2 regardless of a match. Naturally, we don't get a purple off the top, we get a yellow. But looking to fill that purple stun move here. It'll be ready to go on the next turn regardless. So we allow a couple of right hands from Mr. Perfect, but now we're set to go. We start the stun sequence again. Just imagine a versus tag team with this zombie Stone Cold and 4-star Randy Orton, the technician. You run Stone Cold this way. You run a couple of cycles with all those purple gems. You tag in Randy Orton. You have him set up with his 2 purple moves and his green finisher. He doesn't need MP trainers. He doesn't need gem generation. You throw KO and Gold Dust on Randy Orton for green move damage for that finisher. And you tag in Randy and he's going to do 150k damage by going through his 2 purple moves and the finisher. It would just be a deadly, deadly versus team. So Stone Cold, again, has Mr. Perfect in stun lock. And now it's just a matter of going through that sequence of moves to finish him off. Placing the silence gems. Turn them into purples. And this will probably be the end of Mr. Perfect on this turn. Now we're going to do one more. That's the one thing, if there's one drawback to Stone Cold, even at 4-star bronze, it's you have to go through the moves a few times. So it's depending on how quickly and how proficient you are with your selection, it can be a little quicker. So here's a treat. This is courtesy of Kev. This is Zombie Austin at 4-star silver. And you can see just how much extra damage he's doing. This is against Eddie Guerrero. No slouch, a 4-star Eddie. Kev's a pretty fast player. He does not like to be held up in feuds. So if you thought Zombie Austin was a little slow, not the way Kev plays him, and certainly not at 4-star silver. That extra damage is just deadly. Eddie Guerrero done in seconds. So there's Zombie Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Texas Revenant. He is, as Kev says, a cheat code.